live talk to him. Eddie, what the you doing? Get on stage. I don't know, man. Maybe.
I'm gonna do it again because I got to break Kevin's new record. I got to get back on the stage because this new record that Kevin got, I got to have it back, Kevin.
You can't deny it. Kevin Hart's one of the biggest names in comedy right now. But lately, his name's been caught up in the mix, and not for the right reasons. People have been coming for him hard, especially other black comedians. And in the world of comedy, that shade hits different. Comedy can be savage. One day you're the king, the next you're getting roasted in front of the whole world. Kevin's been looking a little nervous lately. But why would someone with his success be looking over his shoulder? Well, here's where it gets juicy. Eddie Murphy, the legend himself, might be stepping in to drop some truth. Word on the street is there's more dirt on Kevin than he's letting on. We got a small taste when Katt Williams went off earlier this year, spilling some serious tea. Kevin tried to play it cool and fire back, but let's be real. You could tell he was shook. And now, rumors say Eddie and a few others are loading up to drop even more bombs on Kevin's image. Things might be about to get real messy. Kevin better buckle up because this ride's about to get wild. Eddie Murphy's known for keeping it classy and staying out of the drama. He's that smooth OG who usually minds his business, so if he's speaking up, you know something's up. They've got history too. Remember when they worked together on Meet Dave? There's respect there. But even that ain't stopping Eddie from calling Kevin out. So what's the issue? Word is people have been whispering that Kevin didn't exactly play fair on his way up. Allegedly, he got close to some industry power players, maybe even stepped over a few folks to climb higher. That kind of hustle doesn't sit right with everybody, and it looks like the ones he left behind are ready to talk. And then there's the talk that's making folks do a double take. People are whispering about some real shady stuff Kevin might have been tied up in. And when it's someone like Eddie Murphy catching wind of it, that's when you know it's no joke. Eddie's been running the game since way back. He's seen it all, done it all, and probably knows where all the secrets are buried. Let's rewind to what Katt Williams said on the Club Shay Shay podcast. He didn't hold anything back. Katt flat out called Kevin an industry plant. Yup, he straight up said Kevin didn't rise the usual way. According to Katt, Kevin didn't grind like the rest. He got dropped into stardom way too quick. First year in LA, and he already had a sitcom and the lead in Soul Plane. That doesn't happen to just anybody. Katt laid it out like this. He already had his deals when he got here. Then he hit everyone with the real question, have we ever seen a comedian show up in LA and within a year land a sitcom on network TV and star in his own movie? Katt didn't even wait for an answer. He said, nope, not before Kevin and not after either. That's rare, too rare. And he wasn't done. He kept pushing. What do y'all think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand what these words mean. That part had people raising eyebrows for real. For those who don't know, the tension between Katt and Kevin isn't brand new. Their beef goes way back. Remember that 2008 film Fool's Gold? Katt was originally supposed to be the star, but legal drama got in his way. And since the film was shooting all the way in Australia, he had to drop out. Guess who swooped in? That's right, Kevin Hart. And ever since then, things between them haven't exactly been cool. So here comes Kevin Hart, sliding right into that Fool's Gold role after Katt got pushed out. And according to the streets, that's when things between Katt and Kevin started getting real tense. That switch up lit the spark, and it's been burning ever since. Katt didn't bite his tongue. He went all in, calling out the fake energy floating around Hollywood. He said too many folks out here spinning lies and getting rewarded for it. Meanwhile, the real ones are left hustling just to get a seat at the table. He made it clear. Just because someone's got the spotlight and the cash don't mean they're telling the truth. According to Katt, it's dangerous letting certain people control the narrative, especially when those people are sitting on piles of money and power. He sees how the game's played, and he's not here for it. And he knows speaking out like this might get him labeled as jealous or bitter. But guess what? He don't care. When asked if he was worried about the blowback, Katt hit him with something wild. Satan can't create anything that includes blessings for his people. That's why the #1 job of someone who sold their soul in Hollywood is to pretend it never happened. That line had people shook. Now let's talk about that wild theory that's been floating around Hollywood for years. The one saying some stars get blackmailed into doing humiliating stuff on screen to climb the ladder. And yeah, that includes the whole wearing a dress thing. Word is it's like a twisted rite of passage in the fame game. And Kevin? Well, people haven't forgotten the times he suited up in a wig and dressed for comedy skits. But this ain't just Katt talking. Dave Chappelle has also spoken up about this shady side of the business. He said it straight. There's something deeper going on behind the curtain in Hollywood. And when legends like Dave start dropping hints, you know folks start paying attention. Back in 2006, Dave Chappelle pulled up on Oprah and dropped some major truth bombs, explaining why he walked away from a $50 million Comedy Central deal like it was nothing. But it wasn't about the money. Nope, Dave made it clear. Those big dollar deals come with baggage, and he wasn't about to sell out for a fat paycheck. Dave's been in the game since he was 14, so he's seen the shady side of Hollywood up close. He's heard the whispers, watched careers blow up, and then fall apart in the blink of an eye. He brought up folks like Mariah Carey, who locked in a $100 million deal, and then suddenly people were calling her crazy. Or Martin Lawrence, who went from superstar to running through the streets waving a gun, yelling that someone was out to get him. Dave was like, nah, something's not right with that pattern. When Oprah asked him about hearing these kind of stories, Dave didn't hold back. He said, yeah, I've seen it happen. And it always seemed to go down when someone was just about to level up. Like right before they hit that next tier of fame, bam, they get hit with something that knocks them off balance. Dave even said he was being pushed to do skits that made the audience laugh at him, not with him, like they wanted him to clown himself just for a check. That's when he started feeling like they were trying to strip away his dignity for a few laughs. And there's more. Dave talked about a moment during a movie he did with Martin Lawrence. He walks into his trailer and boom, there's a dress hanging up. He's thinking it must be a mistake, but no. They tell him it's for a scene where Martin's character breaks out of jail by dressing Dave in drag. Dave wasn't having it. He straight up said, nah, I'm not doing that. They tried to convince him, saying it was hilarious, but he stood firm. He didn't need to wear a dress to be funny. Then it got tense. Directors, producers, writers all pressing him to go with it, but Dave didn't fold. And here's the kicker. They ended up writing a brand new scene in minutes. That left Dave wondering, why'd you even have that other scene ready to go like that? That moment right there told him everything he needed to know. Dave wasn't against the idea of wearing a dress just for laughs, but what really rubbed him the wrong way was the pressure. It wasn't about the costume, it was about the message. He started seeing a pattern. The industry kept pushing black entertainers to do whatever it took to stay relevant, even if it meant sacrificing their pride. And Dave, he wasn't down for that. After that moment, things clicked. It wasn't just his battle. He realized a whole lot of other black men in entertainment had been asked to play the same game. Suddenly, it all made sense. Martin Lawrence rocked that fat suit and dress combo in Big Mama's house. Eddie Murphy did the whole family in wigs for The Nutty Professor. Jamie Foxx went full on with Wanda in Living Color. Then you had the Wayans brothers doing double duty in White Chicks. Even the forgotten flop Juwanna Mann tried to ride that same wave. And Tyler Perry, he built a whole empire around Madea in a dress and wig. That image became currency in the industry. Now here's where Kevin Hart enters the chat. Back then, when he was still on the rise, Kevin was all about artists staying in control of their brand. He was preaching about having boundaries and not letting the fame game twist who you really are. When folks brought up the whole dress in a role thing, Kevin stood firm, said he hadn't run into that situation, and if he did, it'd be a no from him. Kevin told people, straight up, you gotta know your limits and guard your brand. He was serious about protecting his image and not letting folks play him for laughs. He even turned down a request to dribble a basketball during a talk show segment just because he felt it made him look goofy. That's how locked in he was about keeping his image sharp.
Definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross.
Kevin was talking that talk, but fast forward, and now folks are asking, did he stick to it? Now here's where things take a wild turn. Just 1 year after Kevin was preaching about setting boundaries and keeping his brand clean, boom, he pops up on SNL, rocking a dress, playing a 9-year-old Oscar nominee. Fans lost it. The internet exploded with folks calling him out for switching up. People were like, Wait a minute, didn't you just say you'd never do that? That plot twist had folks heated. Kevin had made it loud and clear that he wasn't about that dress life, and now here he was, doing the exact thing he warned others not to do. Accusations of being fake and selling out started flying fast. Fans felt betrayed, like he'd gone back on his word just for a laugh and a check. And then Kevin pulled a total 180. Out of nowhere, he starts laughing it off, saying the skit was funny and that he didn't see anything wrong with it. Suddenly, the same dude who said no dress, no way was like, why not? Let's do it. That switch up had people scratching their heads. But when the heat turned up, Kevin went into full defense mode. He started name dropping, saying nobody forced Martin Lawrence to play Big Mama, or Tyler Perry to become Medea, or Jamie Foxx to turn into Wanda.
I was actually one of those comedians that said, no, I wouldn't wear a dress. There's no way I would wear a dress. And then when proposed with the opportunity of what I felt was funny, I said, oh, that's funny, I'm gonna do it. It's all about choice. You know, nobody makes you do anything. Right. Nobody says this is what you got to do. This is the only way that you're gonna do it.
According to Kevin, it was all about choice. He hit the public with that everyone's got a choice angle. But the streets weren't buying it. People started clapping back, saying it ain't just about choice. The real issue? Kevin was totally against it until that money came into play. Then suddenly, it wasn't a problem anymore. That's when folks started talking about how cash changes everything. When the checks get big enough, some people flip fast and their integrity disappears real quick. It's like money becomes the magic wand that makes people break every rule they swore they'd stand on. And that's when Steve Harvey's old quote about integrity popped back up, reminding everyone that sometimes the biggest test ain't about talent. It's about whether your principles survive once the money hits the table. Steve Harvey once said it straight, "Give me $10 million and I'll embarrass myself all the way to the bank." That one line shook people up because it showed just how quick folks might trade in their integrity for a stack of cash. Brutal truth, but he put it out there with zero shame.
10 million for 4 million. Black people will be so embarrassed by my performance. You'll be sitting up there just going, look at this big lip.
Now flip back to Kevin Hart. After that moment on SNL, yeah, the one where he wore the dress, his career didn't just bounce back, it skyrocketed. He shot to the top and became the highest paid comedian ever. We're talking massive checks, movie deals, sold out tours, the whole empire. Like it or not, that dress moment, it looked like his golden ticket into the big leagues. People had mixed feelings. Some said he sold out. Others said he played the game right. Either way, Kevin was laughing his way straight to the bank, stacking millions while folks debated whether he lost a piece of himself in the process. But hold up, it doesn't stop there. Then came Monique, and she had something to say. She dropped a bomb claiming Kevin turned his back on her when she was catching serious heat from heavy hitters like Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. While she was out there fighting her battles, word is Kevin was getting real friendly with the same people she was beefing with. Let's rewind to 2021. On Kevin Hart's Comedy Gold Mines podcast, he brought Monique on as a guest. It was a deep conversation, real raw. They talked about her rise in the comedy world and how things got rocky for her career. And if you don't already know, Monique's had some long-standing beef with both Oprah and Tyler Perry. Don't worry, we'll break that down later. But during that podcast, Monique got real about her personal struggles. She said her whole family felt like they were backed into a corner. That's when Kevin stepped up and showed love. He told Monique she was like family to him, called her a mother, an aunt, a sister, all rolled into one. And it wasn't just talk either. Kevin made it sound like he had her back for real. But now people are asking, did he really? Kevin didn't just talk the talk, he actually made moves. He admitted he didn't have a personal relationship with Oprah Winfrey, but when it came to Monique, he said he'd reach out to Tyler Perry himself. And he did. After a deep heart-to-heart with Perry, Kevin came back with news that shocked Monique. Tyler was ready to let go of the past and move on. Kevin took it even further. He encouraged Monique to do the same. He told her straight up, let's leave all that behind, Mo. We've got bigger things to build together. It was that peacemaker energy that had folks thinking Kevin was really trying to uplift people behind the scenes. And the love didn't stop there. During an interview with Shannon Sharpe, Monique revealed just how far Kevin went to support her. Not just emotionally, but professionally too. He offered to team up with her, on any project she had in mind. He said he'd back it, executive produce it, whatever she needed. Monique shared his exact words. Mo, I talked to Tyler. He said he didn't want to go back and forth with it, but here's what I'll tell you. Let's leave all that behind and just do something great. Whatever you want to do, I'm in. I'll partner with you. I'll executive produce it. Just let me know. And that wasn't even the end of it. Monique spilled that Kevin even came through financially. He lent her a serious amount of cash when she needed it most. And being the real one she is, she paid it all back with interest. That part had people stunned. But here's where things got spicy. Kevin also promised to help her reboot her talk show, the comeback move she'd been dreaming about. Monique was over the moon. And honestly, who wouldn't be? Having Kevin Hart as your producer. That's the kind of move that can turn any project into a hit overnight. Monique was hyped. She went straight to her team at Endemol, her production company, and shared the big news. Kevin Hart was on board to help bring her talk show back. Everyone was thrilled. This was the kind of power move that could flip the game. But then, plot twist, just 2 weeks later, Monique gets hit with a curveball she never saw coming. Endemol drops the bomb. Kevin's manager, Dave Becky, had called them up and said Kevin was backing out. Cold feet, just like that. No warning, no heads up, nothing. Shocked, Monique reaches out directly to Kevin, hoping he'll clear things up. But all she gets is a vague brush off. He tells her, "We'll talk Tuesday, don't worry about it." That was the last she heard from him. 2 years went by, and Kevin never called back. Not a text, not an email, silence. Now here's where the fan theories kick in. Some folks started connecting dots, and they're not liking what they see. They're wondering if Kevin ever really meant to help her in the first place. Was it just talk? Fans started digging through old interviews and moments that suddenly felt off. Like that time Kevin claimed he didn't really know Oprah Winfrey. Really? Because the receipts say otherwise. After his 2019 car accident, Kevin went on Ellen and talked about how Oprah sent him a huge bouquet of flowers. And not just any flowers, these things turned his house into a full-on garden. He even joked about it, saying Oprah's flowers were so fresh and full they basically refused to die. They're still going, Kevin laughed. People at my house think someone's secretly watering them. They just won't quit. That moment had people cracking up. But now fans are wondering, how do you not know someone who fills your home with a whole floral jungle? Something's not adding up, and Monique's silence is starting to sound louder than ever. The flowers Oprah sent were so massive, they literally took over Kevin's dining table. According to Kevin, the whole Hart family had to eat on the floor just to avoid disturbing Oprah's precious plant. That visual had people laughing, but now it's raising eyebrows. Because suddenly Kevin's out here claiming he doesn't really know Oprah like that. Yeah, sounds shady, and here's where the rumor mill goes into overdrive. Some folks are saying Kevin didn't ghost Monique just for no reason. They believe he made a deal with Hollywood's elite. Word is, helping Monique could have put his own career at risk. And the names tied to that theory, Oprah and Tyler Perry. So let's rewind to where it all began. The beef between Monique and the Hollywood power circle started way back in 2009 when she starred in Precious. The movie was produced by Oprah and Tyler Perry and directed by Lee Daniels. That's where the tension first cracked. Everything hit the fan when Oprah and Tyler allegedly pushed Monique to promote the film without pay. She said nope, wasn't in her contract. According to Monique, she got just $50,000 for the whole movie. Barely enough for the role she put her heart into. And now they wanted her to travel the world on her own dime? She wasn't having it. But Oprah and Tyler didn't take kindly to the pushback. Monique says they didn't just get mad, they trashed her name all over Hollywood. Suddenly she was being labeled difficult to work with. That label, it stuck and it hurt her career. Monique didn't hold back when she told the story. She said Tyler Perry tried to convince her by saying, "You should promote the film. If you get an Oscar nom, your next film is worth $3 to $5 million. And if you win, you could earn $6 to $8 million. But Monique wasn't fooled. She looked Tyler in the eye and said, "I'm a black woman. Where are they paying those salaries, brother?" She told him plain and simple. She did her job, and she wasn't about to do extra work for free. Tyler fired back, saying he doesn't believe in giving out money for nothing. And that's when things really started to boil. Tyler Perry told her, "I don't believe in working for free." And Monique shot back, "Cool, we on the same page then." It was a straight up clash of values, and Monique wasn't about to fold.
He says, "Well, I don't believe in giving money away for free." I said, "I don't believe in working for free, so we on the same page."
But according to her, things didn't stop at a disagreement. They got personal. Monique claimed Tyler Perry allegedly took it a step further and started interfering with her acting gigs. The beef really blew up after she turned down a request to fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival to promote Precious. Here's how it all went down. The studio asked her to head overseas, but Monique, already juggling her talk show, comedy tour, and home life, politely declined. They tried to tempt her by offering a fancy hotel upgrade, but Monique and her husband stayed solid. They said, "Nah, we're spending that time with family." She told Oprah directly, "I've got a talk show, I'm on tour, I've got a husband, and I've got babies. This is my downtime, and I'm gonna use it." She made it clear she fulfilled her contract. She wasn't obligated to do anything more. They agreed to disagree, and that should have been that. But then came the backlash. Suddenly she was branded difficult and hard to work with. Then came the third phone call from the studio asking once again, what's it gonna take to get Monique to France? Her husband didn't beat around the bush. He asked straight up, is there a number tied to it? That's when the studio shut it down, saying they never pay for talent to promote movies. End of discussion. Monique explained she only got $50,000 for Precious, and it was never about the check. She did it as a favor to her friend, Lee Daniels. But when the interviewer pushed back, suggesting she needed that money for bills and to take care of her family, Monique clapped back without hesitation. Monique broke it down plain and simple. That's what America says. We all say it. I can't do it for free. She explained that when she turned down the Cannes trip because the studio wouldn't pay, things were cool. At first, nobody made a big deal about it. But then, the media flipped the script. Suddenly, Monique was being painted as demanding and difficult, all over a request that the studio knew they couldn't meet. It was a classic case of character assassination, just because she said no to working for free. And from that moment, the real drama exploded.
Good, because what people didn't know was I was paid $50,000 to do the movie Precious. And it really wasn't about the money, and I'm not complaining because I signed up to do it with my friend. Yeah. So when the movie studio says we can't set a precedent and pay you to do this, we didn't have an issue with them.
Okay.
But that's when the reports came that now Monique is being demanding and she's being difficult.
Meanwhile, Kevin Hart had his own storm brewing. Word started spreading about his messy split from his ex-wife, Torrei Hart, and it was ugly. The streets were talking and the cheating rumors came fast. Torrei dropped the bomb herself, exposing that she caught Kevin red-handed, cheating with not just one, but multiple women. And here's where it gets even messier. People started whispering that Eniku, Kevin's now wife, was allegedly one of the women involved while he was still married to Torrei. Kevin and Torrei had been together for 8 years before calling it quits in 2011. And Torrei made it clear, this wasn't just about heartbreak, it was betrayal on every level. Torrei opened up emotionally, saying she had dreams of building an empire with Kevin, being a real power couple. But instead, she ended up watching him blow up without her, while she was left to deal with the aftermath. She said what hurt most was seeing his face everywhere, on billboards, red carpets, TV shows, while she had to piece her life back together. And it didn't stop there. Torrei wasn't just his wife, she was also a writer behind the scenes. According to her, she helped Kevin write jokes for his stand-up sets and movies. But guess what? She never got one bit of credit. To make it worse, she claims Kevin took the money he made from her jokes and spent it on the same women he was cheating with. Even after cheating on Torrei, Kevin had the nerve to turn it into a punchline during his stand-up shows. Just imagine being the woman who rode with him when he had nothing, helped build his career behind the scenes, and then getting clowned on stage for laughter. That's straight disrespect.
Will ruin your life. Lying will ruin your goddamn life. Lying ruined my marriage. True shit, sweetie. Lying ruined my goddamn marriage.
But wait, it gets even juicier. Looks like things might be spiraling further for Kevin because Torrei's linking up with none other than Katt Williams for a tour. Yeah, that Katt Williams, the one who's been throwing darts at Kevin for years. So now Kevin's ex-wife is literally hitting the road with his biggest comedy rival. Torrei didn't keep it low-key either. She dropped the bomb on Instagram, posting a pic of her and Katt, all smiles. And she's not just tagging along, she's joining Katt's Dark Matter tour, which has been making headlines nonstop. Oh, and to make things even spicier, the post included a snippet from that Club Shay Shay interview. Yep, the one where Katt went off on Kevin and a bunch of others. Then came the awkward moment. Kevin was asked in an interview about Torre teaming up with Katt. He tried to keep it cool, gave a mature-sounding answer, but you could practically feel the irritation coming off him. The fake calm was strong. Even though Kevin's been trying to laugh off the rumors and brush everything under the rug, let's be real, his image has definitely taken some hits.
You know, your ex-wife is going on tour with Katt.
I want everybody to win. I hope the tour is great.
People are starting to look at him sideways, and the drama just keeps stacking up. But now we want to hear from you. What's your take on all this madness? Is Kevin catching karma, or is this just messy timing? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because trust, we're just getting started. Catch you in the next one.